Hey guys. Oh, am I not? Hold on a second. I got Mike on the other channel, but apparently we're not having Mike on this channel. That's interesting. What? Okay, I'm sorry about that. I did not realize that the mic shut off. We should be good now. Alright, this might look familiar to some of you. This logo may look a little familiar. So, I got lucky and, well, not exactly lucky. I kind of underbid myself, but, as a favor, I cut a good deal with Convention, where I'm getting kind of the short end of the stick, but they are getting a pretty good deal on some whiskey glasses. So I just want to kind of show you guys some of the other things that we make at my studio. I wanted to make sure everything was up. Okay. It should be live on Twitch too, if I can get it to behave itself. It says it went live, but I'm not seeing the stream, so. Okay, there it is. I think it's coming. Okay, it is live on Twitch. I'm making sure it's live on Twitch and it's live on YouTube like it's supposed to be, just because I'm cross streaming on several platforms. Okay, it is. It has. So I'm just making sure it's cross streaming on all platforms. It is currently. I am currently cross streaming. Super fun. And because it's cross streaming, I just gotta go click out of a few of these things to make sure it works. Okay, it looks like everything is working. The interactive part of this is only going to be on TikTok because TikTok is the mainstream, and then the other ones are supplemental streams. And then these will eventually be archived on the YouTube channel. But it was a little bit easier to do the archiving if the archiving gets exported from Twitch. It's just how all the different streaming services kind of interconnect with each other. Twitch archives easier with YouTube than TikTok does. So right now what I'm doing is trimming the decals. These are cold pressed decals that are going to be placed on these whiskey tumblers. So right now we're doing the base work, and these tumblers, the ones I got a good deal for Convention, which literally these are official Convention, these are all pre-sold. So I just got all my supplies in today. So I'm starting the assembly, and stickers get designed and done this way. These are how these whiskey glasses come. They're their own personalized boxes, individual, and these are your full-size whiskey glasses. So these have all been pre-sold. I believe they were being sold in pairs. So they sold out the first night. They're heavy. These are heavy duty. This is not cheap anything. So we're going to be going ahead and applying the Convention stickers to these. So the decals will be on them. Hopefully we get them nice and straight. And then we have the official Arba 102nd Convention whiskey glass sets. Yeah, they all go together. So that's what we're currently working on tonight, is actually making the glasses. You guys get to watch me actually finish the assembly, and this is what I'm making for convention this year. So we're going to try to get them all nice and lined up as neatly as possible, and then I'm going to be handing these off to John Shuey at the show. Kranitz, if you have any microfiber cloths still down at your, could you bring me up one, because I'd like to make sure that these stay fingerprint free. I don't think I currently have gloves, but just if I can microfiber them and polish them. Otherwise, they're brand new, so I'm not worried about them being dirty. But okay. And Bish, I see you stopped in. Bish is familiar with this because she just ordered cold press decals. Had me make her cold press decals, and hopefully she just got hers shipped directly from my printer. And they do a really good job. I've actually been pretty happy with this printer. So, but remember, part of what you're paying for is you have a designer going and making sure that they all fit correctly. Because sometimes when I do the setup, I have to kind of fight their software a little bit to get the most bang for the buck on a sheet. And I will try to do my best to make sure that whoever works with me is getting optimum amount of coverage. Because you see, like on these, I ordered these as just a number, and I didn't build this as a gang sheet because of just the amount that we needed was kind of a weird shape, and it ended up being a little more cost effective not to do a gang sheet. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Now, do you have a clean one?
What?
That's not clean.
That is.
Which one is?
As clean as they get, though. That's.
I need like a new one. These have like pine shavings or something on them. I don't want it. These cannot touch these glasses.
It's like Velcro crafts on everything.
Yeah, I know, but I need like a brand new one. I don't want those touching these glasses. Oh well. If I have to, I guess I'll have to wash them after I get them stuck. I believe the recommendation was after you stick, let them sit for. Actually, I'll go ahead and I'll just read what the thing said. What the care sheet said. I think they should be good to wash almost immediately. I just want to make sure they don't need to make sure the glue sets before you run them through a hand washing. Because if I remember these correctly, it's that their recommendation is hand wash, although they can be put in a gentle cycle. Okay, so final press and wash. Press it, that is for heat press, and then I'll let these decals. After placing, firmly press, squeeze a couple times. Requires some spray, peel slowly, watch, yes. Re-squeegee, peel different angle. There's actually no real pre-pep surface, clean surface. These are clean, I'm not too concerned about it. I have rubbing alcohol if I need it, but I don't think these are dirty. Please squeegee. Actually, I'm pretty sure these are good to go once you get them on. Yeah, so I think once you get them on, you can just go ahead and you can wash them, hand wash them. Yep. Usually I order them here first, and I go ahead and I do these trims to get them prepped. But in your case, you were ordering such a large item. It didn't really make sense to charge you shipping twice. So it was just made more sense to have me send them have them send them to you directly. A lot of the times when I do these sheets, I try to stack them with other orders, and so if they do come here first, then I have stuff on the sheet that I can use, and then I'll go ahead and then if it's local enough, I'll just eat the shipping. But also, usually when they're coming to me, they're not coming just as decals. They're usually coming as like these are. Like these are part of an order. So because I'm getting them to make other stuff with, And also with this particular order, these are getting dropped off locally. So, and that was kind of one of the deals I made with Bob. I'm like, Bob, if we do it like this is how much I can save you, because Bob is a bit of a penny pincher, which is understandable. And I let him know, it's like, this is what the absolute best price I can. He got these like $30 above cost, to be honest. Like, I'm probably losing money on these, to be honest. But, you know, that's also the reason why I'm doing the stream with these, because if I'm gonna end up losing money on the direct product, I need to try to make it up somewhere else. So we're at least going to use this as an example of what we actually can do. So, because of that, this is what the process looks like when I'm making like tumblers, or I'm putting together my other products. I take the time to make, and remember, these have been cleaned up too. So he gave me the logo, but their actual convention logo, if you look at it, this is just one big white background, and it's not transparent, and it's not nearly this fancy. So I went and spent a couple hours on this, refining it so it would look better when it transferred to a glass. So that's what you're paying for. You're paying for my expertise. Oh, hey! Oh my god, I totally would love to have Cindy's son. That Harlequin is friggin' gorgeous. She did such a good job with that one, and I'm actually would be really excited to get that book. I'm probably not making it to convention either, unfortunately, just because we're so tight on funds this year. This definitely was not an affordable year to be able to do anything. The next rabbit show that I'm going to, I'm probably just going to go as an observer because I made their awards, and basically I'm going to show up if I get these glasses done so I can deliver them. It's basically the next two shows are going to be more social than anything else. Because our Greene County show, we're not even putting on our Greene County show this year. We actually gave our ARBA sanction to another club, and the club is going to be doing it as a convention fundraiser. So the Greene County sanction that we usually put on, we're not doing it personally. We handed it over, and they're doing a fundraiser using our sanctions. So there's still a show. So we made sure there's still a show going on locally. It's just been repurposed. So instead of being a 4-H benefit show, it's a convention benefit show to kind of help them offset costs. Dude, if I can get Cindy's son, I think I got 2 days in a row off in like 2 weeks. If I have enough money to pay for gas, I am so down there. I miss her. She was my best girl. I have Foxy's her daughter. She currently has a litter on her. But I don't know. Kranitz, have you heard that? Rhinestone, Cindy's new daddy. We're gonna be getting Cindy's son coming back. Got Ian too, but I think Ian's pretty much retired. I'm pretty sure Ian's not making any more babies. I think he's just gonna. I did put him with a doe last week just to kind of give him something to do, but I'm not really thinking that he's gonna do much of anything. I just think he's like 5 years old. I actually just had a memory come up with Ian from 4 years ago, so I'm like, Ian's an older buck. So I don't know if all those swimmers are really functional anymore. But yeah, mainly tonight I'm streaming to try to make a little extra money for maybe when we're done with the stream, Granite and I can run into town and get some dinner. Because I did not have food money budgeted with the kind of hours that we're currently getting. So I have, I think, enough to cover basic expenses, and then my other issues, figuring out housing. Because unfortunately, the Texas gig kind of fell through. It's still in progress, but it's on hold because of the outgoing person lost all the grants. So because the outgoing person lost all the grants for the entire county, that messed up me, that messed up another one of my friends that lives down there that was trying to get a job with one of their other departments that they could no longer offer him because that money was also gone because it was all tied into the same grants, unfortunately. It's not a new rabbit disease, it's palombovirus. That's been around forever. Keep the wool in the bin. Okay, let's see. I don't think there's really a front to these. I think they're all pretty much the same. So I'm just going to go ahead and line that up like so. Well, you guys haven't seen it before because usually people just ignore it, but that's where the whole legend of the jackalope came from is palombovirus. My sister actually had a cottontail in her yard not that long ago, and I told her, I'm like, you need to call animal control and have them put that rabbit out of its misery because it's suffering. And she's like, but it's so cute. I'm like, that's not cute. That's not cute. That is a painful virus. I'm going to be so worried doing these because they have to be like exact. Okay, well, let's hope that's straight. Actually looks pretty good. Alright, there's the first one. And you just go and you just burnish them a little bit. Okay. There. Right now, there is no profit. I am feeding you. Yes, it's HPV for rabbits, effectively. And then they go in their own personal little box like this. And then that gets closed up. And yeah, gift box ready to go. I probably should have double ordered stickers so we could have put one on top too, but I didn't think about that till after I ordered them. If I did, I would have gone ahead and ordered from my other sticker supplier, and I would have had custom labels, but that was something I didn't think about till after, and I probably wouldn't have gotten them in time because the other sticker supplier is dragging their feet right now. So I do need to mark the top of these that they're done though. So I'm probably just gonna put a mark here where it's done. I'm just going to pull a bunch of these out so I can have them ready. But yeah, right now we're trying to get manifestations gifts on TikTok in order to try to offset food costs. What's 192? I am supplying knowledge, and whatever the peeps run a request from me, I will totally do things for tips. Because any little tip right now is offsetting us being able to eat. Because that's really what this is coming down to, is having enough excess for food, and still be able to cover the bills. A 50-piece nugget bucket would be like 25 bucks because I have to have gas to go into town. So if we can get like a $25 worth of, actually probably be like $50 worth of gifts in order for it to pay out, to be honest. Give me just a minute though. I think the current gift goal is running in 3 hours, so TikTok wants us to be a 3-hour stream. So I would put this at midnight, although I don't know if I'm going to be streaming quite that long. I don't think so, babe. I'm gonna get my, I'll be right back. Hi! You're a cat. It wasn't too dirty, I just wanted to go ahead and wipe it down anyway. Actually, it might be under the futon. That is a definite possibility. But what I'd really like to do is get your, no, you need to go the other way. There we go. There we go. I also have a Mighty Thirst, but I'd like to get at least 10 of these done tonight so I can get a little bit ahead. Actually, probably shouldn't have taken that all the way off. Always the making sure it's straight is the hardest part, because the Indiana kind of is slightly curvy, so it... But the glass is also very curved, so it's just making sure that those all come across pretty good. Alright, that came out much better. I like that. Alright. Hey, Sapphire! Oh, now you wanna focus. These are Arbit Convention. These are all these were actually pre-ordered, and they sold them out the first night. And I just got all my materials in, so I am doing the assembly, or at least on the first 10 or so. And then these are going to be delivered directly to the show secretary when I see them at the next local show. But I basically gave them to them at cost. So I'm streaming the process of making them in hopes we can maybe get some donations towards food. That was kind of my bad, but whatever. The lesson learned from this is do not quote people prices at 3 o'clock in the morning. Wait until the next morning and then quote them prices, because you will make pricing errors. And if you are an honest person like I am, you will simply suck it up and say, nope, that's what I said, so that's what you're paying. So I'm not going to renege on that or change the price on you. It's just, I'll just eat it. So I chose to eat it. And instead, we're doing a live video showing how we make them. So we can use this as promo later. So at least we can get something out of it. Yes, this is for the National Convention. Just for reference, they probably should have been $8 a piece. They should have been at cost. So if you're looking to make them for yourself to resell, resell on these is, we did the math, and fair resell on these is like $15 to $20. So, and I think they were setting them up as cents. But wholesale, if you need me to make this stuff for you, my wholesale, if you want to get stuff to mark up and sell it like a craft fair, or do bulk or something, I want to say it works out to $8 a glass. if you buy them in lots of 24. That was what the caveat was. So if you get 24 pieces minimum, so 24 pieces minimum, they work out to $8 a glass. And then you can go ahead and mark that up as you see fit. Because remember, I deal with wholesale prices, so buying them from me with all the work, that's what they cost. Same thing like if you want to do tumblers and you're getting like tumblers and stuff from me. I think AW Ranch had gotten some for her. Those I can do as one-offs, and I think those end up being closer to 15 each unless you get bulk. It's always cheaper to go bulk. That is something that you need. That is an easy lesson to learn when working with designers and small businesses like mine. Is if you can go to a slightly larger order, like your best pricing if you want to get like coffee mugs and stuff, is you need to order at least 72 at a time. And that's pretty much the easiest way to get your pricing down, because for people like me, setup costs and things like that are a lot of what runs into it. And like when I'm sourcing my materials, I have to pay. Like I got lucky and I was able to get both the blanks and the decals from the same outlet, so that wasn't too bad. But if I have to get them from two separate sources, then it's like double the shipping for me. So I got lucky and was able to source these particular glasses, which is kind of why they got the deal they did, from the same place that prints the decals. And that was a better deal. So they had the design, but I redid it for these because the design that they had when they gave it to me, it was just a flat JPEG. It wasn't a vector. So I recreated this all in a vector so it was scalable better, and so it's a lot cleaner. So once it's done into a vector, you see the print's going to be a lot cleaner to how it comes out. And then I also cut out the Indiana directly. Like if you look at the actual logo that they have for the show, this is just a white background inside of the inside of this like border. So I went ahead and I refined it so that it was clear, because I think it looks better on a clear background that way. And it gives a lot more definition to the state of Indiana. Otherwise, it just kind of flowed into each other. So they gave me their logo, and then I went ahead and I re-edited it so that it worked better for this project. Typically, that's what happened. Just like I was just given Harry Hopper's logo that she had done up in Cabana for their awards banners, and it was okay, but again, it was kind of a blurry JPEG. So I went and I found the font that she had used, and I re-vectorized it, so now it's 100% scalable. And I actually told her, this is what your font is. If you ever need to know, if you ever go to other graphic designer, this is what the font is that you used is called, so you have that information. And I now have a vector version of your logo, so if you want to put that like really big on like a billboard or a banner or something, you know, you'll be able to do that because now it's scalable. Versus the one that they gave me was not scalable. So typically when a client gives me something to work with, I will go ahead and I will spend a couple hours not necessarily redesigning it, but making it so it's more useful, and more it just looks better. I've always found that seems to be the best way to do things, is making sure that you spend a little bit of time on everything so that it comes out the best possible quality that you can. So, I did not create the design, but it kind of like 3M. It's like we don't make stuff. We make it better. Although I do design creation. I do logo creation. One of the examples I have on my site, and again, a lot of times what it is you'll have a client come to me going, I want something like this, and they'll give me a sketch. Bish, if Bish is still in here, Bish is a good example of that. She gave me a rough out of what she wanted her logo to be, and I went ahead and just did some, basic refinements, made it into a scalable vector art, and then made her t-shirts and decals and all kinds of fun stuff. And then more recently, she just did the same thing again, where she had kind of a logo that they wanted on their horse trailer, and we went and did a few brainstorming sessions on how that could, how the variable different ways we could do that worked, and we just made her trailer stickers for her horse trailer. And so she actually got a sheet of these straight from my printer because it was a little bit easier to do it that way. I usually don't like doing that, but you know, it was just more, it was more cost effective. I will work with you to try to get things within a reasonable budget. You know, as long as I'm at least covering my expenses plus a little bit from my time. I unsuckified it. I guess you could say that. But yeah, but those are those really, so like when you're looking at, but yeah, you can see it's that just like slightly raised cold pressed decals on whiskey glasses. So these are actually pretty cool. Hey, Danny. Get in the box. There we go. I will go to convention if I can afford to go to convention. I'm probably not entering any rabbits this year because we simply do not have the funding, and as of this point in time, it looks like my job fell through. And I do not make enough money working at my current retail position to be able to cover food, let alone paying the amount that it costs to go to convention. And convention is not cheap. I think convention cost us close to $2,000 last year, and we were able to offset, I was able to offset that by selling a bunch of rabbits, but it's just been too hot this year, and we really didn't breed for convention this year. So I really don't have much that I can, you know, sell to offset, unfortunately. Right now, I'm just trying to cover buying rabbit food. That's really what I'm working on. So honestly, at the moment, I'm just, like I said, like right now, if we can get gifts in the stream, that'd be great. If we can get coins, you know, roses, whatever. I think I'm one rose away from hitting a goal on TikTok right now. So if I just get one more rose, I can actually add that to my gifts gallery, which I think is kind of cool. I'm a bit of an achievement hunter, and I'm one rose away on the gifts gallery. So if we can do that tonight, that would be awesome. The people who are on Twitch, thank you, Danny. The people who are on Twitch might still be able to send snacks, but I don't know. I don't think that's available outside of Bloomington, so probably not. Grubhub to this location is iffy at best. I think it was really like we do have delivery out here because I have gotten delivery out here before. In an emergency when I was down in Texas, I did send a How to Train Your Dragon meal to Kranitz from Burger King, but it cost me like $40. So you can do delivery out here, but it is like super expensive. So I'd rather just try to come up with like, you know, $25, $30, and that's enough for us to cover going to Denny's tonight. So that's kind of the goal. So the goal is, I think it's like $50 worth of gifts is enough to buy dinner, but there's no guarantee that I'm going to actually get that in time anyway. So we're just going to do this. No, I mean, that's completely like I said, all my money right now is going either paying bills or feeding the rabbits. So yeah, that helps. That's still very helpful. Yes, exactly. The rabbits have food, we don't. So I've set it up in such a way where the rabbits are always fed. The humans taking care of the rabbits, not so much. Like, and we went out today in a bit of an emergency, and we bought like 4 bags of ice. Which, by the way, Kranitz, use the ice because it will melt in the cooler. because there's not enough, unless you want to take a bunch of the bottles out of the freezer, which I would actually recommend you doing, and put 2 bags of ice into the cooler, or 3 bags of ice in the cooler. Because I think the ice is going to be more useful than the bottles tomorrow when it gets hot. You can't use the ice tomorrow if the ice is melted. Take the bottles out of the freezer and put the ice in the freezer, or the ice is going to melt in the cooler. It's not going to keep the ice frozen overnight. Yeah, but I don't know. Make sure it's really, 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 really tight, because I don't think it's going to I think it's going to be melted by tomorrow morning. I think it's going to be a better chance of it still being frozen if you move it out. Yeah, because the problem is the ice has to stay frozen until tomorrow afternoon, like right before I leave to go to work, because I'm closing tomorrow. Because we need to start putting ice in everyone's stuff between like 2:30 and 3 o'clock when it gets really hot. We had a bunch that were like really, really heat stressing today, and they were not doing great. So I ended up spending what was put aside for dinner buying ice for the rabbits. You know, it wouldn't have been the wrong barn if someone had listened to my instructions and built it the way that I had requested instead of trying to cut corners. So I need to be moved out of here at some point so I can fix that roof, because I am extremely frustrated about the whole thing. Because what I had said I wanted to do was exactly to avoid this. And I flat out told them that when they were buying the materials to build it. I said, you need to do the barn roof this way. And they're like, oh, no, this will be fine. And I'm like, it's not going to be. You know, okay, well, we'll put all the fans in. And then it actually did work really well last year until the roof collapsed. And then when the roof collapsed, that screwed the entire thing up. And then one of the fans on the top went out. So we're only using like half of the exhaust on the top end of the barn because one of the fans has a bad bearing. And so it's only about halfway effective. So that's not helping either. So we're doing the best that we can with what we got, but that roof needs to be repitched in the opposite direction with a ridgeline vent to suck the heat out, and that would solve 90% of the issues. No, I can't, because it was someone decided to cut corners and do it himself. So he got a couple of teenagers to help him put it together. But anyway, that's me being pissed, and that's fine. We're just gonna deal with it, because it is what it is. And the sooner that I can get my own land in my own place, the better. But other said person needs to pay me back the loan. We loaned the money that was supposed to go towards, it's supposed to be a short-term loan. That was originally money that we had set aside to buy a house, and it was supposed to be a quick short-term loan, and it has turned into not a short-term loan, and now I'm in a very bad position. So, lessons learned. Right now we just have to deal with what's in front of us. No, they don't come with a warranty when someone decides to just buy the materials and build it themselves. Okay, that's fine. The Amish buildings come with a warranty, but it's not an Amish building. you're in Texas, you can get the rent-to-owns for a heck of a lot cheaper. Like, we were looking, like, the building I'm currently sitting in was like $25,000, and we're rent-to-owning that, so we're paying that off gradually. But the same size building in Texas is only $12,000. So you can get basically the same building as this for a heck of a lot cheaper in Texas. Like half the price. No, what we should have done is just found a piece of land and just bought it when we had the chance. I was just, or I should have told him no. I probably should have just said no. That would have been the better idea. So this building, let's see. So I paid half up front. So we put down, I think, $12,000 up front, which means there was like a $12,000 balance on it, and we pay, I think, $350 a month. Kranitz's cabin that he's paying on is bigger than this. I think it is. What was yours? Was it 40 by 60 or was it 20 by 40? It was either because mine's 16 by 30, and I think his is a 20 by 40, and he only pays $540 a month on it. Yeah, 14. It's like a 14 by 60. So he's got like I think it's technically bigger, but the monthly on that's not that bad. And then right now our bigger issue is, paying for the like electric bill and stuff. So we need to sell a bunch of stuff and cover that. So I'm selling a couple of rabbits on Monday to go towards the feed bill, and my gas, miscellaneous stuff to try to cover. And that's just kind of how it's been. Is I will sell those rabbits, and majority of that money is going to go towards the Tractor Supply card, which is what I'm currently using to finance rabbit feed. So I think there's a $500 balance on the Tractor Supply card, and I'm going to try to get that paid off by the end of each month, ideally, because rabbits are not cheap. If you want to get, decent quality feed, and you want to make sure that they got water and the fans are running, it's like, it costs money. Like, the electric bill was like, we're like behind now, and it was like $700 that we gotta hurry up and get paid. I mean, there's a lot of bills that go into stuff, and when your job keeps cutting your hours, it's not cool. It's not really a viable option. So the goal is, unfortunately you have to kind of live on credit to a degree, but the goal is to make sure that those bills are paid, which is fine as long as that stuff gets paid off in time. But right now we are very tight, so all of the money is going to pay towards the bills that are reported to the credit agency, and that means I don't get to eat, which is not fun. So then, but if I can get more projects like this going at my actual rate, if I get more banners sold for shows, so if rabbit shows that need awards done, things like that, that's what floats us every month. So my main job is enough to cover like my car payment and like my health insurance and like very basic business, expenses like gas and things like that. And then whatever money I can make from this print shop goes for supplemental. So I mean that covers other bills and making sure that the barn's taken care of, and then whatever money we make from selling rabbits. And I'm very picky about what gets sold live as like show stock and stuff, because I want to make sure if it leaves the barn, it's a good quality animal that's leaving. And so there's very limited show and actual livestock that gets sold. A lot of what ends up leaving the barn ends up going straight to the cull buyer, and then that ends up going straight to the zoo. And I mean, it's not terrible. I think I made $400 last time, and we took like 100 rabbits. So I mean, the return's roughly $4. And still, that's not great. There's in other parts of the country, like if I decided to just give up and just move to Colorado with Maddie, I'd be making a lot better because I have really good stock, and if I could somehow move out there, it'd be great. Yeah, I paid $21.32 at Tractor Supply for our current feed. So I mean that's not the issue. It's the amount that they go through. So right now we're going through approximately a bag a day, and I'm trying to get my numbers reasonable enough that we can goose that. But I'm paying like $22 a day in feed. Hey, Laura. Now let's keep them diamonds coming. Thank you all. Well, and that's my other problem is my labor, who is in chat and complaining, needs to get paid too. So, I mean, he does cost also, and I would like to be able to pay him a regular amount, because he does do good work. So when I'm at work, or if I'm not here, he is the one making sure these rabbits don't die, that they're getting watered every couple hours, that they're getting ice, that they're getting ice bottles, that he can contact me if someone looks under the weather. A lot of the times he's in there, randomly talking to them or playing with them, or keeping them company and entertained, because he is my rabbit entertainer. And he'll be the one being like, hey, someone looks under the weather, or hey, go look at someone's feet because I'm seeing that there might be a sore, or something might have happened, or someone looks like they might be hurt, and or this one has made a noise, or that one coughed. Can you go check on that because I heard a sniffle, and I'll and I really do appreciate that, because it makes me know if there's anything going on with those rabbits, that someone is watching them. Yeah, so he's keeping an eye on them. So that way, if there is a problem, we catch it really early. And if you catch that stuff early enough, it's typically treatable, correctable, or is called out as this one just got some hair in its nose. It's not a big deal, or this one needs to go into quarantine, or that one needs to be culled, but at least I have a baseline for the herd to know if there is a problem. And I would like to be able to take care of him better, because he is so important to this operation. But right now, we're just not making enough money, and I'm just not getting paid enough in order to offset those costs. And I feel bad, but farming is what farming is. Because the Texas thing looks like it's going to be postponed for a bit, I did apply for another more local position. But I'm not really sure what's going to happen with that. So I don't know if I know anyone that can be like, yeah, this person would be really good as an educator position for what she wants to do. Because that's what I've been doing, is education. And the problem with a lot of these, college-based positions is they want you to have like a master's degree. And it's like, I don't have a master's. I have a bachelor's plus 20 years experience. Although I realized that for some reason my fire instructor I was a firefighting instructor. I have an instructor certificate through Indiana's Department of Homeland Security, which did go through lesson plans. It went through creating lessons plans and different teaching techniques and all the all the basic things that you go through with instructing. Because it's basically a teacher's course, but it's geared towards firefighting. Yes, always praise you. You're my good boy. You're my good boy. If any of you have already ordered these from the convention, congratulations. You're getting to see your mugs get made. So. Hey, Black Rabbit. I'm assembling the convention whiskey glasses tonight. And I'm also trying to come up with some funding so we can maybe get dinner later after I feed my rabbits. Because as the goal always is, bunnies come first. So I'm keeping an eye on the time. Probably about 10:30 or so, I'm going to wrap stream and make sure those rabbits eat, because it should be cooled down enough by then that they'll want to eat. Goal with rabbits when you feed them is it's best to feed them in the cool hours during the summer, and you want them to finish their food within 20 minutes or so. Typically is what's recommended. They've had plenty of water today, so I'm not worried about hydration, and that also means it gives them a chance for everything to cool down, they'll be able to digest and utilize that feed in the most efficient manner. So, it should be a bit cooler by like 10:30, so in the summer we feed in the evening. And then during the day he also goes through the barn and tops off doe and litters. So does and litters, yes, we are a female-owned, disabled-owned business. Oh, but I need to feed my disabled co-owner. I think we're all pretty fucked in the head. I'm AU-ADHD, so I'm autistic ADHD with dysgraphia. Dysgraphia that created quite a problem at work today when I was trying to do my job, and I had a panic attack because the little pick thing that I use in order to pick people's orders up only showed the first name on the order. And so I looked where it should have been, and then the stupid thing wouldn't let me click into it so I could see if there was any other name on the order. And if it had let me click in like it was supposed to, without causing me to panic, I would have seen that there was a second name on the order, and I would have looked at the correct shelf. Instead, it caused a panic attack. And when it caused the panic attack, I wonder, does that other camera work? Wait a second. Wait a second. Can I add the other camera without breaking it? Hold on. Will it let me add the Microsoft camera? Oh, maybe. Oh, that camera's like messed up. I need to buy a new camera at some point. Yeah, it's like glitchy as all hell. Look at how glitchy it is.